Explore the Grampians and surrounding areas. Before European settlement, the areas around today's Halls Gap Township were home to the First Nation people for around 40,000 years. Aboriginal clans speaking the Jab Warung language occupied the land. The first Europeans to explore the area were Thomas Mitchell and his party, who travelled through it in 1836. Mitchell and his team camped at Mount William, naming it after William IV, then King of England. He named the mountain ranges the Grampians, after the rugged region in his native Scotland. European settlers followed Mitchell's tracks, after reading his favourable reports about the landscape. The first settler at Halls Gap was Charles Browning Hall. The discovery of Halls Gap is interwoven with the drop in cattle prices in Sydney in the 1840s. The 1840s saw cattle prices in New South Wales drop due to severe drought, as thousands of head of stock were sent to the market. In August of that year, Charles Hall and other stockmen gathered around 1,300 head of cattle and left Monaro Plains in New South Wales, driving the cattle southward for the Melbourne markets. By the time they reached the Goulburn River, they learned that the Melbourne market was also overstocked. The stockmen moved westward, following Major Mitchell's 1836 exploration route. On the eastern side of the Grampians, Hall and his team found suitable land not claimed by squatters. The natives called the area Mokpili, meaning few trees. Charles Hall followed the tracks made by the Aborigines to explore the land he settled. During one of his explorations, Hall found a narrow gap in the mountains, 15 miles north of Mount William, leading up a wild, romantic glen. This area later came to be known as Halls Gap, named after its European discoverer. The natives taught Charles Hall how to make huts in their way, which they called Mia. The Fyans Creek Valley, where Halls Gap is situated, was then well known for its thick forests. In the 1850s, gold was discovered in Victoria, and the nearby township of Starwell grew as a mining town. Demand for timber to build houses and infrastructure led people to the forests of Halls Gap and beyond. Many sawmills were established here. The Mount Difficult Quarry, also known as Heatherley Quarry, came into existence in the 1860s. Sandstone from here was used for public buildings in Melbourne, including the Victorian Parliament House. The quarry is located around 13 kilometres north of Halls Gap. Another significant event in Halls Gap's history was the gold find at Mount William. The Mount William gold find was initiated by brothers Philip and Frank Emmett. They kept the find a secret for months and continued digging with their cousins, who owned a nearby farm. Once the news of the find became public knowledge, Philip Emmett registered their claim at the Ararat office on the 24th of June, 1900. Soon, diggers flocked to the area. Today visitors flock to Halls Gap for its many attractions. Grampians National Park. Halls Gap is the heart of the Grampians. The native name for the Grampians used to be Garryword. The 167,219-hectare Grampians National Park is situated between Starwell and Horsham. Proclaimed as a national park on the 1st of July, 1984, the park was listed on the National Heritage List on the 15th of December, 2006 for its outstanding natural beauty, and being one of the richest Aboriginal rock art sites in southeastern Australia. The Grampians feature a striking series of mountain ranges of sandstone. The Grampians National Park is home to 200 species of birds. Grampians Peak Trail is a 160 kilometers hiking experience which can be done as a 13-day hike, traversing north to south. There are shorter length different trail options available for hikers. The Wonderland Range. The sandstone ridges of the Wonderland Range are considered to have been formed some 430 million years ago. Some of the attractions near Halls Gap can be accessed through these tracks. Visitors can either park their cars at Wonderland Car Park, which is around 2.5 kilometers southwest of Halls Gap Township, or walk through the Halls Gap Botanic Gardens, which are located in the township itself. We chose a mixed approach. First, we visited Venus Baths and the Pinnacles after walking through the Botanic Gardens, and then we parked the car at Wonderland Car Park to visit the Grand Canyon and the waterfalls. Venus Baths. For those interested in a short visit to Venus Baths, a 2 kilometers circuit walk through the Botanic Gardens provides a convenient route. In contemplating how to best describe Venus Baths, I decided to include a quote from one of the information boards near the site, courtesy of the Grampians Historical Society. Venus Baths is a place to cool your feet on a hot day, to relax with the sound of a gentle breeze, or to contemplate the marvels of the ancient land. It is a place which clearly shows evidence of nature at work. Wild rain over millions of years has carved the sandstone rock into weird and wonderful shapes. Early settlers in the Fyans Valley were so fascinated with the rock sculptures that they named the area between Stony and Dairy Creek, Wonderland Range. Venus Baths is the name of the site, adapted from the early 20th century name for the largest pool, Venus Bath. Pinnacle Walk and Lookout. The Pinnacle stands at an elevation of 720 meters above sea level and offers panoramic views. Accessible via multiple routes, visitors can reach the Pinnacle Lookout by starting their hike from Sundial Car Park, Wonderland Car Park, or from Halls Gap Township, passing through the Botanic Gardens and Venus Baths. The shortest path begins at Sundial Car Park, covering approximately 2 kilometers with a 110-meter ascent. Wonderland Car Park offers a similar distance, but with a 280-meter ascent. Conversely, starting from Halls Gap Township adds about 4.5 kilometers in distance. The trek rewards adventurers with stunning vistas, making it ideal for those with a taste for exploration. The Pinnacle Walk offers views of captivating rock formations, wildflowers, and the beauty of the Grampians. Lucky visitors may catch a glimpse of wildlife, including kangaroos and echidnas. From the Pinnacle, the views of Halls Gap, Lake Belfield, and the surrounding forest make the walk truly worthwhile. Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon, while not comparable to its namesake in the United States of America, stands as Victoria's miniature marvel. Characterized by towering rock formations, narrow, steep-walled gorges, and breathtaking vistas, it serves as a haven for outdoor enthusiasts seeking activities such as rock climbing, photography, or serene hiking outings. The canyon walls exhibit a stunning array of colors and textures, ranging from smooth, weathered surfaces to sharp, angular outcrops. Along its floor, visitors encounter a series of steps and natural pools, sculpted over time by the erosive forces of water. This combination of sheer cliffs, narrow passages, and intricate geological formations renders the Grand Canyon a visually captivating and geologically significant feature. Splitters Falls. On the same route, a short walk from the Grand Canyon leads to Splitters Falls. This seasonal waterfall is best viewed during spring. From Wonderland Car Park, Splitters Falls is approximately 700 meters one way. If coming from Halls Gap, the distance is about 2.3 kilometers one way. There are several other waterfalls around Halls Gap that are worth visiting. Located 12 kilometers south of Halls Gap Township is Silverband Falls. A 700-meter stroll through lush vegetation from the car park leads to these falls. The lookouts. There are three main lookout points that offer spectacular views of the Grampians National Park: Boroka Lookout, Reed Lookout, and the Balconies Lookout. These viewpoints provide sweeping panoramas of the rugged mountain ranges, lush valleys, and vibrant forests that characterize the region. Boroka Lookout offers an expansive view over Halls Gap and the surrounding landscape, while Reed Lookout provides stunning vistas of the Victoria Valley and Lake Wartook. The Balconies Lookout can be reached from the Reed Lookout car park via a 2-kilometer track. Its distinctive rock formations jutting out from the mountains make it a unique spot, ideal for enjoying fresh misty mornings and sunset views. McKenzie Falls. 18 kilometers northwest of Halls Gap, at Zumsteens, is one of the most spectacular waterfalls in the Grampians. Zumsteens got its name from a beekeeper. An industry that flourished in the mountainous region in the early 20th century was beekeeping. Walter Zumsteen's name stands out among the apiarists who settled in the Grampians. Originally from Switzerland, Walter Zumsteen moved to the Grampians in 1906 to manage the hives for a company engaged in the business of selling honey. After 4 years, Zumsteen established his own beekeeping business near the McKenzie River, 20 kilometers west of Halls Gap. The site where he settled is today known as Zumsteens. McKenzie Falls is considered one of Victoria's largest waterfalls. The Broken Falls outlook is accessible via a track from the McKenzie Falls car park on Wartook Road. From the base of McKenzie Falls, follow the track downstream along the McKenzie River to reach Fish Falls, a smaller waterfall cascading over terraced rocks. The Aboriginal name for McKenzie Falls was Miganang Wirrab, which translates to blackfish floating on top of the water. Explorer Thomas Mitchell named it McKenzie Falls in 1836, in honor of his friend Captain Mackenzie. As we conclude our journey through Halls Gap, we've seen how this small village captures the essence of Victoria's natural beauty and rich history. From its breathtaking landscapes to the stories etched in its ancient rocks, Halls Gap stands as a testament to the timeless allure of the Grampians. Whether you're an adventurer or a history enthusiast, Halls Gap offers a lasting impression that beckons you to return. Thank you for joining us, and may your memories of Halls Gap inspire future explorations.